In today's video, I am going to be customizing some of the daily pages in my Passion Planner to help me better track some of my health and wellness. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Tracy and I track a lot. Yes, a lot of things when it comes to my health and wellness. So much so that I need all the space that comes in this Passion Planner Daily, which is a 2-page daily. So just a quick rundown. I did do a video early January where I kind of went through my process of filling this in throughout the day. I will link that video down in the description box just in case you are curious. I will say I'm going to be changing up a few things, but I'm going to be adding more. So that will give you kind of a general synopsis, but I'm going to be adding some more tracking. Yes, because all that tracking that I already do is not enough. So just a quick kind of overview of what I had been doing. Right here are the hours. I do use the hours. This is where I note when I wake up, what I eat and when I eat it. So if I eat breakfast at 9 a.m., I will just write what I ate. And I know that that was breakfast. If I ate a snack at 11, I will just write what I ate. And I know that that's my snack. I also like to track energy levels. I will admit I had fallen off on tracking that, but I really need to get back. I need to get back on track when it comes to tracking my energy levels, and the hours really do help with that. Because previously, before I moved into a planner that had the hours in it for health and wellness, I was just writing like morning, midday, evening, and that could be so many different times. So if I'm in my planner at 10 a.m., I might write E equals and then a number between 1 to 10 based on how I'm feeling as far as energy. I also have these cute little battery stickers that I made that sometimes I'll use too, but for the most part in the first quarter I just wrote E for energy. So that's like the gist of what I do here. I also write the time that I work out, and the reason why I do that is just so that way I can kind of see the time that I work out in comparison to my energy levels, plus the time that I work out in comparison to when I eat, just in case there are any symptoms, which I do track on this as well. Then I can kind of see the picture of my day to kind of hopefully pinpoint that. Now, this is only the picture of my day as far as health and wellness and fitness goes. I have a catch-all planner. It says what else I did that day, but this is still helpful in those regards. So then let's talk about the space over here. So I have created some stickers. I created these years ago when I was using other planners. They're just Apple Watch stats stickers. I just created this in Canva, did an image of an Apple Watch, and then just made like little boxes with the colors. And I slapped that on one of these boxes and then write that in. I got a RingCon fitness tracking ring around the holidays. So I started tracking that in some of these spots. This is enough space for that. So like I track mainly sleep related stuff. And I've also been tracking anxiety in one of these because it gives me my anxiety level. I'm still trying to figure out how accurate that really is. But those are the things that I track there. And then I usually write the actual workout I did here, and then I use this space to break down the workout. So if it's a strength training workout, I write every single exercise that I did within that workout and the weight size I use. If I'm doing a rowing workout, I will write all of the metrics at the end, like how many meters I rode, my strokes per minute, drew a blank right there and stuff like that. Plus this is where I can write notes. So I can write notes relating to symptoms, mood, anxiety, things that like numbers and stuff doesn't, kind of show me. I can just write stuff in here. Sometimes it's like literally just a small area of writing. Other times it's a lot more. So it does vary as far as how much gets filled up on this page, but I do find that I need it just because I track so much stuff. And yes, you're probably like, why do you track all that stuff? I have been tracking my fitness in particular since about mid to early 2010s in some way, shape, or form. And then I moved into tracking in a planner, probably mid to late 2010s. And then about 2-3 years ago, that's when I started amping up my tracking of my health related stuff. So beyond the eating and the workouts, the other stuff. So I had been tracking it on some way, shape, or, some level for like over 10 years. So it's not completely new. So that's kind of a quick rundown about how I've been using it. Like I said, this works great for me. I've been using it since June of 2025. I hesitate to say this is very, very close to the perfect planner when it comes to fitness and wellness, just because of the 2 pages. That's really rare in a daily planner. However, the one thing that it is missing are weekly pages. And let's face it, most daily planners do not have weekly pages. I really wish they did. It would make my life so much easier, but I do understand it would be super thick. This is a quarterly planner, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I'm starting this new April. And I was trying to figure out how best to have weekly pages, because I really want to kind of have everything in here that I can refer to when I'm thinking about health and wellness. And if I had a weekly page or a weekly overview of some sort, then that is where I would plan my meals. That is where I would plan my workouts. And then my other things for the upcoming weeks, that's where I would actually be doing planning, where everything else is tracking. And I just would like to have that in here. I've tried to do it on the monthly calendar. There's just not enough room. And in all honesty, once I start getting to like the middle to the back of the book, I just don't flip back to the front as much, which is where all the calendars are. That's a little minor inconvenience that I kind of wish the calendars were also mixed in with it. But that one is not as big of an issue as the missing weekly pages. Now, there are a few pages in the back. So it starts at 216 and goes to, so it's 10 pages. I guess you can count that one, maybe 11 pages in the back, or it might just be 10 in the back that I could use for something as well. So that is obviously an option. However, the second quarter, I have 2 vacations coming up. Very important. I'll tell you why. Because with those 2 vacations, I am not going to be tracking anything health and wellness. I will probably have, we'll actually do one, because I have one sort of at the beginning of this. I do want one page to kind of write notes about the vacation, anything that came up during the vacation, health and wellness wise, but I'm not going to go through my Apple Watch. I don't even know if I'm taking it on vacation. I don't think I'm going to take my ring. So I'm not going to be capturing anything. But the reason why I'm saying that is I'm going to have at least 12 pages, which with 12 weeks for a quarter, I'm going to have 12 pages that I can now create weeklies, weeklies in. I'm super excited about that. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to kind of be the case for third and the fourth quarter. I would love it to be the case, because that means I'm going on more vacations, but my schedule won't allow it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this very first page here. I do like to start my health and wellness tracking on a Monday. I don't care what month it is. I will start it on a Monday. So that is the reason why I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a weekly spread. Now, I was trying to figure out how to do a weekly, especially with this. I was toying around in my other planner, and I was like putting washi over here, and then using this to kind of do like meal lists, and then using this to kind of come up with some other things like a grocery list. And then over here is where I did my workout plans. It was okay, but it could be better. And it could be better because Amy Plans Things actually has a book of creative trackers. She has several on her website as printable versions. However, if you want the physical version, I think this might be the only one that is available, and I'm not sure of the availability because at the time of filming it's available, but they sell out pretty quick. But in this book, there are weekly somewhere. There are a whole bunch of weekly sheets in here. So I could just slap this on here because these are actual stickers. So I don't have to do anything special. Just slap them on here. And I think this would be really, really cool. So I really like this. So I'm going to use this. So I'm going to tear these out. These are A5 size. And like I said, they're already stickers. I do have the printable version as well, so I can reprint these once they're, you know, done. But she comes out with a new book every single month. Now, this should fit perfectly on top of here. So to cover all of this up, so that way it's almost like a blank slate, I could have just used white sticker paper as well. But I figured here, we'll just go this route. Let me make sure. All right, so I want to start from the top. All right, that is not straight, but that's fine. Okay, so I covered that page. Now this is going to be my weekly page. I'm not going to put it over here. Why? Because it's already blank. However, even though I'm doing this to set up for the week ahead, I don't really need the days of the week, because I think what I would want to do here is like come up with some breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and stuff like that. Where's that sticker book again? I put it down here. I don't think, actually, I think I need the actual sticker book, which is right here. It has been rummaged through. So here, what we're gonna do, if I have enough stickers left, do we have any small headers? I might have to use some other stickers. Because we have these small ones, but I feel like they're like a little too big. Actually, wait a minute, right here in front of me, right here in front of me, we have stickers, I think. Yes. And we have purple ones. So I'm gonna do breakfast, lunch, dinner. I really need something else for this one because I want this one to be like extras, but maybe what I'll do, I also have like random sticker books everywhere, and maybe there's like a small purple one in here that I could use. There we go. There we go. I also want here, we are going to put this back. And what week is this? I don't know what week it is, but we'll just say, so I can put the week of there. Over here, I need this to be 2 sections at least, because I need a place to put grocery list, which I think there was a grocery list sticker. We're just trying to use stickers, guys. Yes, we are just using stickers. So then we'll just do groceries. And is there anything that says workout? This is not my dinner plans. This is my exercise plans. I thought the word exercise was bigger, but it's not. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to be taking you through all, like every single week. First of all, I'm only going to be setting up the first month. And I'm going to do that just because of, you know, time issues, especially with this month in particular. Probably be the same for May as well, if I'm being honest. But I kind of wanted to share this with you. So I'll do groceries here. Why is it so crooked? But we're leaving it. We do that there. I can always... Now I could draw all this by hand. I could easily draw it all by hand, but I just have stickers that I've purchased and like bought, and I feel like I should use them. So that's the reason why I'm going this extra mile of using stickers that I already own. All right, so there we go. Done, right? Almost. Well, I think this is done. I think this is done. I don't think I want to like kind of write what every little section is for. I want it to have, the reason why I put this here is I feel like this is all I need for groceries, and I probably don't need all of that. But then I might want to write something else related to workouts or something else over there. So yeah, that's it. That's it for my week. Then we're going to come here, and this would typically be Monday, but the fact is I'm on vacation, and I come back that Monday. So I am not going to be having anything to track. So what I'm thinking is I will again pull out one of these. Let's just pull out, honestly, let's just pull out this. Because I just want this page as writing space, and I don't have it as writing space with all of this broken down. So that's the reason why I am putting all of this on here, because I will be away for less than a week, but it's enough time for me to possibly like write notes and stuff. So that's what I'm going to use this for. Okay. All right. So this is going to be what would have been Monday, because I'm not going to have anything to do because that's a travel day. That's the reason why I have what I have on there. I might trim this off before I put it on the thing, because I am just so bad at cutting. Okay. So now this is going to be Tuesday. I will probably predate these, at least for the first month. The reason why is, even if I come in here and I'm not really good about filling everything out and things like that, at least if I predate it, I could come in and write my stats, my Apple Watch stuff and stuff like that. And then I can usually remember what I ate. Even though the times might not be 100% accurate, I can at least kind of get there. All right. So as I said, I'm tracking energy and things like that. Now there's nothing for me to set up as far as energy, meals, because that's going to go in here and things of that nature. The way I had been doing it, I told you I write the actual workout in this space and then come over here and write something else as far as like the specifics of the workout. I think I want to kind of keep this page for workout stuff. And when I do my workouts, if I am like knee pain or anything like that, I'll write that in there as well. Because sometimes that has nothing to do with the workouts. I mean, the workout is, you know, making you hurt, but you might have inflammation, and then eventually you might not have the knee pain if you get that in check. So I'm not a doctor. It's just what I read. Okay. Now I do have these like little helpful little stamps that I was thinking of possibly using. So, for this one, they do have like, see, we already have the mood, so I don't need to do anything for the mood. I think mood was here. There is weather. I do kind of like that. And then here, I kind of want this because I want to monitor, like I'm monitoring my sleep as far as my ring goes. But sometimes it's like my sleep is really good, but I don't feel like it's been good. Like I don't feel that great with it. So I almost wonder if I need to do that. Stress levels is something that I want to do. Again, I mentioned that my ring captures that, but I also want to do that myself. So we're going to do both of those. And then I think we're going to do the weather. And I don't know. I think everything's good as far as stamps go. But like I said, the reason why I'm doing this as a stamp right now, I don't think I'm going to do however many days there are, for this quarter. Like if there are 100 and I mean, not 100, if there are 90 days this quarter or 92 days this quarter or whatever, I don't want to stamp for 92 days. But as this is something that is newer to me and things that I am not as used to tracking, I really do want to do the stamps until I can get into the habit. So with that said, do I want to put, okay, sleep, I think I'm going to put up here. I can actually probably put it right here. I could probably wipe that out and just put it right over there, because it fits right in here. Again, I'm trying to use what I have. I do have my Apple Watch stats too that I need to put on here. And then my sleep goes in one of these perfectly. I was thinking I could always put my Apple Watch stats in one of these because I don't really use those as much. Those one box type things. So I could always do that, or I could put this here. Let's put this down here, and then I could put my Apple Watch right here. How about that? So where is the Apple Watch? This didn't cut the best when I did this like eons ago. And then I can just put this here. So now that is covering that up. Now, real quick, just in case you're curious about the Passion Planner and you didn't see this, this just says today's focus, my game changer goal, personal work, free space to grow, self-maintenance, best thing that happened, today I learned, today in one word, and mood. So like I said, I think they're great. It's just obviously I'm using this for a different purpose. So I'm not using those as they are. And for me, we are going to stamp away. Now, how about, where's my pen? I'm going to go ahead Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick, and not going to take you through this. I'm going to do this on my, like right now, and then we'll come back and it's done. I'm going to go ahead and put the papers down for these other ones. So that way I have the entire month done. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that second sheet. All right. I did a month's worth of this. What I did is I went through and I circled the days of the week. So that way I knew when I got to the end of the week. So this is the last one. This one had like when, it was Sunday, Saturday, and Friday or something like that. So it had like days of the week alphabets up here. So I just put that there to cover that. And then we have breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then we have that. And then we have that. And then we have that. So I'm done for the month as far as my weekly setup. So yeah, it took a little bit of time because I was doing them all. But in the end, I'm kind of glad that they're all done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this weather stamp. I'm going to stamp it once, take a look at it. If I like it, because it's a Temu stamp, then I'm going to go ahead and put it on all of the... I need a little bit of, put it all on this today I learned. And then I will put the temperature there. Okay, this ink does not go through. This is really good ink. It's from Cocoa Daisy. It's really good ink. It does not go through. Just in case you were curious. All right, so I went ahead and stamped the weather. It took maybe a little over 5 minutes to do that just because I'm stamping on like a little pad and trying not to get ink all over the place. I'm going to probably put the high and low here, especially because we're getting into allergy season. I'm probably going to go ahead and write like the allergens of the day because the news will start telling us that. Again, most of what I'm doing here is to kind of like pinpoint what's causing migraines, what's causing other symptoms and things like that. So that's why I want like a snapshot of everything here. And most of this stuff, like I said, I can gather from the news, from my phone and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm having to like, you know, go all out to kind of find all of this information. Okay. So that's my workout thing. This will be, I kind of want, okay, we want sleep there. Let's do sleep first. Yeah. I'm not going to white that out. I don't really care. It's just a lot to have to white all this out. Now I'm going to see, I don't know if I'm going to do all 28 days of this, because what I'm hoping to eventually achieve is kind of know what's here and be able to just go in and write sleep quality 8, stuff like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the most part. So I don't know if I'm going to do this every day or not. We'll see. Who knows? Once I start stamping, I just can't stop. Okay. I am going to stop with the sleep because there's a few reasons. My watch will dictate how much like hours and stuff like that. And I note when I wake up over here. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do this whole, like these whole top 2 columns for sleep, or these top 2 boxes for sleep. I'm going to input my sleep quality and then notes right here, and then everything for my ring here, which is total hours slept, total hours of deep sleep, light sleep, and REM sleep. And then it's like sleep score, I think is what they give you. So that's what I'll do in here. I might eventually make a sticker. I don't know. And then I do want the stress. Will this fit in here? This will fit here because I don't want the notes. Could I cut off the notes? I want to cut off the notes. I never use the notes. I know I'm messing up a stamp. Oh my goodness. But it's kind of frustrating. I don't like the word. I don't like notes. Okay. So I could do stress level. Oh, this will be perfect. Okay. So then this is where I'll do stress level under the work section. And then I can write my stress levels for my watch. So that'll be good. So with that said, this might be something that I need to do for every day. The sleep is like, well, I'm kind of capturing that in some other places and I'm capturing a little bit more information. So I felt like that was duplicative, but I wanted to do the whole week's worth. So there we go. So then this is my stress level as far as how I am going to measure it. All right. So as you can see, I'm cutting these. So I want to go ahead and put these down as well. So the stress and the sleep, like I said, the sleep, I'm just going to handwrite that in for that because I don't really think that I need to stamp for that information. Stress levels, I'll probably end up doing that as well in month 2. I don't know that I'm going to stamp it every time. Who knows? If I'm in a stamping mood, maybe I will. In this box, I'm going to do macros. Okay. And I'm doing my macros not to make sure I hit like a X number of proteins eventually, maybe. But I know like currently at the present, I am having some issues with like digesting fats and things like that. So I want to kind of keep track of my macros and also relate that to how I'm feeling and stuff like that. Because, you know, while they say you're supposed to have like an ideal number of proteins, fats, and carbs, I do think that differs for everybody and how your body reacts to those type of macros. So as like a quick, it's not going to be quick, but as like a little experiment, I'm going to track my macros. But like I said, I'm not going to like, oh, I need to eat this amount. It's going to be more of informative for me. And then maybe once I get out of all these vacations, then maybe I'll get like better and actually start like, once I find something that I feel like works for me as far as like the way I feel and things like that, maybe at that point I will go ahead and start setting macros and then trying to reach those macros with my meals. So this is like for another purpose. As far as the macro tracking is, not your typical purpose, but it's something that I've been wanting to do because like I said, certain times I feel like I'm better when I'm like eating fats, and for here lately, it has not been working. So yeah, So I'm going to go ahead and do all this. I think I'm going to just use the janky ones next because I don't want to cut these anymore. Okay, I was one short. Just one. Oh, no, I have it. I was not one short. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in to the first day. And let's use... All right, guys. So all I did was just write CFP for carbs, fats, and proteins. I did use my little meal sticker. This is like the little sticker that I used to put down when I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you could see that that was going to be my meal. Like you can just quickly look and be like, oh, that must be a meal log. With these little bits of spaces, I haven't really been using it. So I figured I'll just put it there to add a little bit of color and a little bit of like something fun there because I don't know if I'm going to have room for stickers. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Now, I might add some more kind of like nutrients here that I can track if I can track it, because my plan is not to have to compute this myself. My plan is to enter this into a phone app and have it be computed for me. However, I don't want to pay for the use of a phone app. And I know like MyFitnessPal, they have a free version and then they have like an upgraded version that costs money. And I think the free version just does like carbs, fats, and proteins. I don't know if it does anything extra like, you know, fibers or whatever. I might keep track of added sugar. Hopefully it's something I don't have to keep track of because there'll be no added sugar, but you know, you never know. So I might want to keep track of that there. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm thinking about keeping this more like nutrition type related, food type related. There is going to be no template over here just because it varies from day to day. As I mentioned, I like to write down a lot of stuff about my workouts. So if I'm doing a full body strength training workout, I could fill up this whole side easily. Think about like body pump or something like that where I'm using multiple different weight sizes. I'm going to want to record that so that will easily fill this up. However, I still might need to have space for notes about symptoms. I might need to have space for how I felt after that workout. If I felt like abnormally like tired or out of breath and that was a little unusual, I might want to mark that. Maybe I got like a splitting headache after the workout. I might want to mark that. That's included a symptom anyway, so I would have done that. But like maybe knee pain when I was doing a certain like move, I'm going to want to note that. So that's the reason why I said this could easily get just filled up with notes. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if I do a spin workout, I do not have a fancy spin bike. My spin bike does not have a little computer thing on it that tells me how fast I went, how many miles I spun. How many miles I spun. You get what I'm saying. So I don't have anything to record for that. So I would just write the workout I did and then I'm gonna have all this space for whatever else. And I might not have symptoms. So it might just be that much on this whole page. So it just varies based really on the workout and then based on how I'm feeling that day. So it's really hard to do a template. It's also going to make it pretty hard to decorate in advance. I really like to decorate this in advance. I've been doing some videos. I did some in January. I think I might have done one in February when I wanted to see how many pages I could decorate in like 20 minutes. And I just like slapped some stickers on. I don't know if I can do that. I can definitely put a sticker here because this is like pretty much like going to be unused space. Maybe in this bottom corner, but that's going to be like it. That is really, really it. I mean, right here, it looks like I might be able to throw some things over here, but I think after the fact, I might be able to add a sticker so that way when I'm flipping through, it looks cute. But yeah, I think this one is going to be more functional now. So with that said, I don't know if I'm going to do very many setups with you guys on the channel because it gets boring if it's just the same old, same old. But like I said, I really do want to do a check-in at some point, and we'll probably combine that with me actually filling in this so you can kind of get an updated video of me filling this in and seeing how I fill in all of like the new stuff. So yeah, there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was more of a chatty video, but maybe it gave you some ideas, especially if you're working with a planner. that doesn't have everything you need. Maybe there are some extra pages that you can utilize to make them work for you. Like I said, for the second quarter, I'm lucky in the fact that I know that I am going to be on vacation and out of town for more than 12 days, which means that I had 12 empty day pages that I could repurpose and still have enough for my daily sheets as well. So that just is how it worked this month. We'll have to see what I do for the third quarter. That's going to be tricky, and we'll have to figure something out at that point. But yeah, maybe this gave you some ideas. Maybe you only track things Monday through Friday. So if you do that, then you could definitely do something like make some weekly pages or what have you. I use paper from Amy Plans Things. You can always just use sticker paper or just glue paper down or what have you. Yeah, I just thought this was really cute and wanted to use them. All right, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Like I said, I hope it gave you some ideas. Maybe it gave you some insight on all the stuff that I track. I know I've been talking a lot, guys. I know I've been talking a lot, but I do want to mention, even though I track a lot of stuff, I'm probably only in this planner maybe like twice a day. So I'm in this planner probably early to mid-morning, and that is when I come in and write down my wake up time, what I ate for breakfast, my energy level, and then I put all of the stats for the day before. So I go in and I get my Apple Watch stats, my ring stats for the prior day. So if I'm like filling in my morning stuff here, then I'll flip here and write down all of my metrics that I get for my watch and my ring for the prior day. So I fill all of that in at that time. And then I will probably do my macros for the prior day at that time as well. Then I come back in maybe at lunchtime, maybe not. Usually it's a maybe not. But then I come in after I work out and then fill in. I'm actually filling this in if I'm doing weights while I'm working out. That's why I like the small compact size of it. If it's like a cardio, then I do it afterwards. And then that's when I come in and update everything from the morning to the workout. So lunch, energy levels, again, any other notes I need to fill in, things of that nature. I may visit it one more time. However, the odds are probably slim. So usually it's just 2 times a day. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is captured somewhere else that I'm just transferring to this notebook. So that way I can compare things a lot easier. So it's just doing it in the morning, and it's pretty simple. So it seems like a lot, but I promise you it really is not that much, which is why someone like me who struggles with daily journaling and stuff like that can really do this. All right, guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. And if you've yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.